Hi guys, so today I'm making an apple and raspberry crumble. We have some apples growing in the garden and we went for a walk yesterday and collected some blackberries. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. Tag me in Facebook or Instagram if you have a go at the recipe yourself. I hope you enjoy. When we got back from our walk yesterday, the first thing I did was get all of the stems that were like crunchy bits off of the blackberries, put them onto a tray and just froze them. It just means that you can chuck them in at the last stage of the crumble, or you can keep them in the freezer and use little bits at a time for things like porridge or other baking. So yeah, now we've got quite a few to work with today. So these are the apples from my garden. I've picked about 10 of them because they're not very big. I would usually use Brownlee apples because they're really big cooking apples and it's a lot less hassle than chopping up all of these. I'm not even sure if these are cooking apples or eating apples, but we're going to use them anyway because can't waste them. So what you're going to need for this next bit is a chopping board, a peeler, a knife. You're just going to peel them, make them as big or as small as you want depending on what sort of texture you want the crumble to be. So I'm going to do it in bigger chunks because I love having a bit of bite to the apple. What we're going to do now is put the apples in here, and then we're going to fill this with water until it just about covers all of the apple. You don't want too much water because it's all got to reduce. Maybe a pint and a half. Yeah, about a pint and a half of water in there, and then I'm just going to plonk that on and we're going to cook it until it starts to really reduce and turn into cooked apple. So I'm just going to use white caster sugar. This has probably only got about 50 grams left in it, but I'm just going to pour a little bit in now, or all of it. The amount of sugar that you put in is completely dependent on how sweet you like your cooked apple, or if you like it a little bit tart, just be really careful and taste as you go with the sugar. I like mine quite sweet. I know these are quite sour apples, so I'm going to have to put quite a little bit in, but we'll taste as we go and let them cook. So while that cooks, I'm going to make the crumble. So for the crumble, I'm going to be using vegan dairy-free Vitalite. It tastes really like dairy butter. It's a really good alternative if you're just starting out and you want to try something new. This is the one to go for. You'll also need some sugar, and I'm going with gluten-free flour today because my mum's a celiac, so we're making it so we can all eat it. So I'm going to do it by eye today because I'm a nightmare. So I'd say that's about 50 grams of butter. So what you're going to do is literally crumble it between your fingers until you get the right consistency. A little bit of extra flour. Yeah, so quick and easy. And there you go. Crumble topping. So this is our crumble mixture. And you can just add more or add less and make it the kind of consistency you like. You could add oats if you want it to be a little bit more textured, but that won't be gluten-free. And you can use plain flour, any flour you like, any butter you like, and yeah, easy. Bit of sugar, boom. I'd say this is done now because I want a little bit of bite to the apple crumble, and remember it's still got to go in the oven, so it will cook down further. So what you want to do is grab yourself a big dish like this, and then we're going to pour that apple into the dish. Just going to lay that out like that, and then we're going to get those blackberries that we had earlier, and we're just going to place them all over. As many or as little as you like. I'm going to keep a few back to put on the top as decoration. Now we're just going to pour the crumble mix over the top. And we're just going to use a little bit of light brown soft sugar, break it up in the packet, and then sprinkle a little bit. I'm going to get a spoon. And we're just going to sprinkle some of this over the top. I'm just going to grab a couple more of these and just plonk them on the top. So we're going to turn the oven to about 200, place this on the middle shelf for about half an hour or until the top is nice and golden brown. So the crumble's now done, so we're just going to grab it out of the oven, make sure that it's done, and then leave it on the side to cool. And then later on, when we've had our dinner, we'll come back and we'll heat it up again.